That's right, you need to stay in your field. Soren, go ahead if you.
Well, Ben, we're trying to get to know you a little better and giving our viewers a picture of who you are. Why are you a bike rider and what made you fall in love with the bike?
I think just because I'm good at it, to be honest. I like to be outdoors nonetheless, and I love sport no matter really what it is. So I kind of gave it a crack because it was a sport that I liked to watch when it was on TV back in Australia, and I had a really good friend who kind of coaxed me into it, and it kind of came from there.
Was this also always your dream to wear the leader's jersey?
Yeah, I guess one of them. It never started like that, but as you get closer to that potential and knowing, what can you do, what's actually possible. I've gone through periods where I didn't really have too many contract options, and I thought about going back home. And then now you're in this situation where you're leading a huge race, on stages of every Grand Tour now. So, yeah, it's funny how things can change. You just have to, keep tackling them and believe in yourself.
And if people haven't talked to you but only seen the Netflix series, do you think they have the right impression of you?
If you watch the Netflix series, no. But I guess that's what TV is. It's there for entertainment and drama, and it doesn't always show you and how you should be and how you actually are.
How are you actually?
Well, at the moment, I'm a happy man. I'm relaxed. I'm enjoying it. For sure, I'm an angry man sometimes, but I'd hope I'm not a bad person. And yeah.
What are we to read from stage 9 that we can take away into this second stage? The second week.
I'd say that our team is strong, and I believe in the boys even more so after that day. I think we have the ability to control a race and decide how it kind of plays out. So that was my key thing I kind of took away.
You're reading of both Primoz, Red Bull, and UAE with Adam Yates.
Pardon?
You're reading of both Primoz and Red Bull and Adam at UAE.
Oh, Adam had a sick ride in Granada. He's back on GC, but it's still a big gap, and it's the same thing. If you look, it's the same gap to Enrique, or more or less to Carapaz and to Primoz. So I just have to keep racing like I'm doing. It doesn't really change anything about how I approach the race.
And just one question, I don't want to traumatize you, but how uncomfortable was watching that on Netflix? And, just describe the experience of watching yourself.
I think some moments are pretty true. Others, there's just like zero context to the shot, and the shot's not related at all to the event in play. So it can be a little frustrating, but whatever. You have to kind of just forget about it, and really, who cares what someone in America or another person in Australia thinks of you? I believe in myself, and I go about my business how I choose it.
Just watch it at home and then know what was coming.
Well, the thing is, you don't really know what's coming because you don't have any preview. You have a hint from the team saying that's going to happen, but I don't know what part of the questions they get you. And remember, you sit in front of this camera for 2 hours answering questions. Things sometimes just get a bit out of hand, and they just take context from there, even though it's not related.
What happened? Can you give us the inside details to what happened to Antonio Tiberi in stage 9, and how does the team refocus after his abandon?
I think Antonio had been suffering with the heat quite a bit, and then especially on stage 9, once we headed down the descent after Monochill into direction Granada, then turned up towards the climb where we did laps. It was incredibly hot, and basically he suffered all symptoms of heat stroke and became a little bit lightheaded and just wasn't feeling overall very well. And because of this reason, he ended up abandoning the race. Now, going into the next 2 weeks, we only have 5 guys left, so the bus is quite empty. We have a lot of room to spread out, but it does make it quite interesting for racing. Now, I think we go into trying to take it day by day with trying to get into the breakaway and treating it more like individual stages rather than a 3-week Grand Tour.
Jack, today the final climb, Alto de Mugas. Now, we remember that's the Superman Lopez stage. You, of course, were one of the benefactors that day. I mean, when I say that, and when I remind you of that day, what's the image that comes into your head? What are the images that come into your head?
To be honest, it's I think of Gino Meta, to be honest. he was really influential for me that whole Vuelta España, and then especially this day he sacrificed a lot for me to try and take as much time as possible to move up into that third place on general classification. So yeah, I have a lot of fun memories from that year, to be honest. Not just the Vuelta, that year with Gino, and yeah, I watched back and I saw some highlights from the stage from 21, and yeah, made me think of him.
Remember what you thought, or how you found out that Lopez had pulled out, or what you thought?
I'm not even sure if we got told on the radio, to be honest. I think we only found out at the finish line. I think we got told that he'd been obviously distanced and that I was moving into the podium spot, but it wasn't until we got to the finish line where I actually found out that he'd pulled out, and I saw a little bit of all the controversy on social media about what had happened and him getting in the car. So during the stage, the director didn't actually tell us.
Last one, have you ever felt like doing that in a bike race?
No, I don't think so. I think I've had moments where I maybe wished I'd gotten off the bike just because of how hard it was, but I never properly considered it. Maybe I wished for a flat tire in a certain moment as well, just to have a bit of rest, but to actually get off the bike and get in the car, especially when you're in a moment like Miguel Angel Lopez was, where he was on the podium there, it was quite an important thing for Movistar. I'd never considered it.
Felix, you guys really did a good number the other day, keeping Ben O'Connor in contention. How's the morale? How's the spirit in the team? Because it seems like it's growing day by day.
Well, Ben was really impressive on Sunday, and yeah, it's really great to see that also we as a team we were always in control, and yeah, we had a good rest day yesterday. Like we're not stressed out. Of course, there's still a lot of work to do and still 2 weeks of racing left, but so far it's going really good.
And you have another contender back up in the GC mix with Adam Yates, and you have a certain three-time winner of the Vuelta España. He told us after the stage of the day his back is hurting. Are we to believe him, and what's your reading of Primož Roglič?
Well, I think he was, yeah, I don't know like how what his problem is, but I think on Sunday he was maybe not feeling the best. I mean, not that he didn't seem like he was in trouble, but I think if he would have felt really good, he would have tried something. But also Lipovic was really impressive there, so he is also yeah, a really strong teammate by his side. Yeah, I think today, tomorrow could be something for him, for Roglič, if he feels good. Yeah.
You come in as a free rider to go for stages and such. How is it to transition? Because now it's all in for Ben.
Yeah, now it's for sure it's a bit of a different situation now with the red jersey, and yeah, it's Ben helped me last year at the Tour. Now I help him, and it's good fun.
How do you think he's handling himself as a leader in the red jersey, both on the bike and off the bike?
Well, I think so far really good. Yeah, we have a really good atmosphere, and I mean, yeah, it's not every day that we as a team are in this position, but I think so far the DS and all the boys, we are handling it very good, and we also, I think we are not putting ourselves under too much pressure. We know it's still a long way to go, and we're enjoying it.
Can you feel that he is growing in the jersey every day?
Yeah, I think so far it's like on Sunday. I mean, he won the sprint of the GC group. Small things like that is really good for the morale, and yeah.
Is he still calm?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Do you expect him to remain calm?
I hope so. We do a great job, and yeah, everyone gives their best, and then we see what happens.
Everything changes in the Vuelta España now. Adam has got the team a stage win after Brendan McNulty's on day one, and he's back in the GC, and I suspect morale is super high in Team UAE. What's going to happen next here in these next couple of days? Give us a prediction.
I don't know. I expect today again to be a crazy stage. It's a really hard start. Let's see how if there is a team really controlling. You know, we've seen that. Yeah, it's been a bit out of control, I have to say, on some days. I expect a fast start, maybe some changes again. On our side, we'll see. We'll try to be there, attentive, present in the moves, but at the end, it's only the start of the second week, and we already had so many changes. I think for the watchers, it's really exciting.
Is it true, Adam in the interview the other day at the finish said he doesn't care about the GC. Has the thinking changed now, and what is the plan for the GC with Adam?
For sure. I mean, now he's in contention again for GC. I mean, for him, it's already a great Vuelta, you know, a great achievement. He had an amazing stage win. I think from now, everything he will take and we will take is going to be positive. So, of course, I'm also not so far in GC, so we can play with this also. But yeah, I think the podium is still in contention for our team.
I mean, despite the setbacks with Almeida, yourself as well as Adam were riding very well the other day. I mean, I guess also in this Vuelta España, how you've been riding, it's been a positive note considering what you had coming into this race. You're feeling pretty good about yourself and how the form is.
Yeah, I've been really happy, especially with how it went, you know, on the last Sunday. I've been up there with the GC guys. I mean, I wasn't able to follow Enric Mas in the final climb, but I've been able to, let's say, ride away from the other guys. So, no, I've been quite surprised about it, and I'm really pleased and confident in my shape.
How did you enjoy the rest day? Did you get a rest in, and how do you reset for this second week?
Yeah, it was a great rest day. Really enjoyed it. Finally a break in the heat. I think everyone felt so relieved when we got into Galicia. Felt fresh, and had a nice coffee shop. And it's probably the fastest day of your life. That rest day goes by too quick.
You have a knack for finding good coffee shops. I don't know how you're doing it, but we'll focus on the race here. How does the race change in the second week, both with Adam Yates up there in the GC, and also, I mean, you guys are desperate for a stage win.
Yeah, I think it's now a week of breakaways. Just the way Ben O'Connor proved that he's strong, and I think he can defend the title. So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for breakaways in this week. But you never know. Today's going to be a really hard day, and I could see a big GC shakeup even today. It's going to be really fun to watch on TV.
How does the team? Well, how do you do it? You know, if you give one hard effort one day, how many days do you need before you can reset and go again? Can you go again the next day, or does it depend upon the stage and how much effort you put into that one day?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the rider. Some guys get better day in, day out and thrive off the confidence that they build through attacking. Others pay the price for going big. Hopefully I'm in the category of the guys that can keep on attacking.
You had a couple of days of bad luck. What's the next day you have circled on in your road book?
I mean, today and every day after, pretty much. This is not a day. This is not a race for sprinters. I think it's a race for a lot of breakaways. So I hope to be in as many as possible.
Good luck out there, Mike. Thanks. Enrique, you gave us all a scare the other day. How scary was that for you in that moment, and how obviously happy are you that you were able to save it?
Yeah, to be honest, I think if I don't know in English, I was not scared because it was less than 1 second, but I think for the spectator was a bit more than for me.
I guess your attack that day, you were sensing that Primož Roglič was a bit not at his best, and it was a time to take your moment. Is there going to be more of that in this upcoming week?
I attacked because I had good legs, not because I saw Roglič on a bad moment. But of course, when sometimes you can feel it when some riders don't have a good moment because but then they catch me on the last 4 or 3K. So yeah, it was a good day, but at the end it was the same time.
How do you see this race now? How do you see things going? Yeah, with Primož and with Red Bull, and now with Adam Yates up in it. How do you see the race?
I think it's really nice for the TV. It's an open race, open GC. Ben have a lot of time in front, so yeah, we have to play because we cannot do anything more.
Given what happened on that descent the other day, are you taking the descents a bit differently, or is just racing as normal?
Sorry?
Will you be a little bit more cautious on the descents, or you just have to keep going how you went the other day?
No, I have to keep going. It was because the wind. I did because the wind. It was not because the material or something else. It was because I had to do another. It is like it is.
How do you see Ben O'Connor? Is he a man to beat right now, or is he gonna crack?
Bueno, al final tiene un tiempo bastante considerable, ¿no? Pero bueno, queda mucha vuelta aún y bueno, le veremos, ¿no? Le veremos. Creo que tiene mucho por defenderse y sobre todo con lo que falta, muchas etapas de montaña, la última semana. No sé, va a ser muy duro, pero bueno, igual para nosotros, ¿no? Intentar descontar todo ese tiempo.
Looking around the peloton these last days, how much are the guys drained from the heat that we had down there in Andalusia?
Especially the last day was really hard. On the steeper climbs, you don't get like the air in your face, so you don't cool down. Because of the speed, the other climbs were quite okay. We still had a slight breeze sometimes, but the last day was really hard. And on the first climb, we saw the first steep one. We saw Tiberi sitting on the side. So a lot of guys are struggling, but once you are in a gruppetto, you like share your bottles with everybody. Others share with you. You take water from the side wherever it's possible, and you try to stay cool as much as possible. And we had a nice group, a big group, and we got a lot of help, luckily. But I can imagine if you are fighting for the stage win or for GC, and you have to go all out on these climbs, that it's really horrible. So we went like on a normal tempo, and then it was doable. But if you go full, you're just heating up.
Is there something you feel that you still need to get out of cycling in these last days that you have remaining?
No, not really.
No. Done it all.
No, everything I achieve is just a plus. It's not really. There's not really a big dream left. So no, I think I've done everything that I was hoping for in my career. So everything extra is just a big plus.